Welcome, one and all, to another episode of Ask Ghost Hunter with me, your host, Ghost Hunter and author Rick Hale. Hey, guys, before we get to today's topic, and it's a good one, it's a big one because it is a question that I get a lot from people. I got something that I need to share. So yesterday, after all the doctor's visits, all the scans, and all the blood work, I am now officially 7 years cancer-free. That's right, folks, 7 years cancer-free. If you or anybody, any of your loved ones or friends have ever gone through cancer, you know that that's not just huge news. That is super ginormagantuan news, especially with the kind of cancer that I had. It's cancer that took my leg and about 33% of my left lung about 7 years ago. 10 years for the leg, 7 years for the lung. But hey, I'm cancer-free, and doctor said that I can go one more year of doing scans and blood work, and if everything comes back good, I no longer have to do scans. I hate doing scans, hate doing blood work. Ugh. Anyways, so on with today's topic. So this is a big one, folks, and this is one that I've gotten a lot over the many years that I have been investigating and researching claims of ghosts and hauntings and psychic and other kinds of psychic phenomenon over the years. And the question is this: Rick, are we all born psychic? Now, that's a huge question because not everybody believes in psychic ability. For a long time there, when it became really popular to get out there and start ghost hunting, people were under the impression that psychic ability either wasn't real or unnecessary. And parapsychologists, ghost hunters, paranormal investigators, spook hunters, whatever you want to call us and yourself, we've always utilized the gifts and abilities of those who were able to see across the veil into another realm of existence, the spirit realm, for example. To be perfectly honest with you, over the years, I have met dozens of people, literally dozens of people who claim to have a gift. And a lot of them are very well-meaning. A lot of them have been misled or have even misled themselves into believing that they had a legitimate ability. And really, I can count on one hand, and it's not a lot on one hand, how many people I am convinced, or that I have worked with and am convinced, has a legitimate ability. So, first off, you've got to understand the word psychic. Psychic is kind of a catch-all phrase or an umbrella term that encompasses a lot of different kinds of abilities. You have precognition, which is able to see future events unfold before your eyes, or remote viewing, which is you sit in one place and you're able to look inside and see another place hundreds, if not even thousands of miles away, which was something that was studied quite a bit by both the American and the Soviet government throughout the 60s and the 70s. Well, they say they don't do it anymore, but, come on, right, guys? Anyways, or telekinesis, or, being able to read people's minds, or channeling spirits, giving them a voice to be able to, impart their message to the world. And I have, the people that I know that have these abilities, they really do have them. I've seen them in action. I've seen them do the work. I've seen some amazing results. So that is kind of where the word psychic is. It's a canopy, kind of a, it just encompasses a lot of different kinds of abilities. So, but is everybody born having these abilities? Well, it's like I said, to a greater or lesser degree. On the greater side of the spectrum, you have the remote viewers, you have the people with the precognition, or the mediums who are able to channel spirits from the other realm. And over here on the low end of the spectrum, this is the one that we all have. And I have no doubt that we all have this because it is part of what it is to be human. It's part of our fight or flight instinct. When something bad comes up, something stressful, something that causes anxiety, how do we react to it? Do we run and hide, or do we stay and we fight? Or they also added now to it, freeze. You just kind of stay there and watch things unfold before your eyes. But I like to really just go with the fight or flight. Run away, stay and fight. We all have that. That is part of being human. That is hardwired into us. Is it a psychic ability? Not exactly. However, I would consider that to be a sixth sense. It is something that helps us read an area outside of ourselves. Like, for example, I used to go to a lot of clubs and bars back in my 20s in the 1990s. And there were times that I could walk into a place and just be able to tell something didn't feel quite right. Like something felt off. The air felt negative. And like I said, that's all part of that whole fight or flight instinct that we as humans have. And to better illustrate this, we need to consider our ancient friends and cavemen, Ig and Oog. Ig and Oog I've written about in the past. And Ig and Oog really helps illustrate this, how to really teach what situational awareness is, or street smarts, as some of us also like to call it as well. So Ig and Oog's job, back 20, 30, 40, 50,000 years ago, their job was to feed and clothe the tribe or the clan. So they would go out at night, or they would go out during the day, and at any time of the day or night, and they would go and they would hunt bison, or they would hunt any other giant furry mammal that would, not only feed their family and their friends, but also clothe them for the very, very harsh winters that the world experienced back during the ice ages. So let's just say that Ig and Oog are leading a hunting party, and they come upon a lone giant bison in the middle of a field or in a forest. They sneak up on this thing and they take it down. After a little bit of a chase, after a little bit of a struggle, they're able to take it down. But then something happens. They start to become there's a shift in the energy, a shift in the air around them, and they become aware that something is watching them while they finish off or field dress this giant bison. They know it's there, and they find themselves looking around to see if somebody or something is watching them. And sure enough, off in the shadows, is a couple of really hungry saber-toothed tigers, cats, whatever they call them. So it is either this: you either stand and fight these things when they attack, or you run away. Either way, you run the risk of being their main source of protein for that day with these giant saber-toothed tigers and saber-toothed cats, because they're going to chase them down and they're going to kill them. So they decide to stay and fight. So that is where that situational awareness comes from. Mankind, they were hunters and gatherers for tens of thousands of years longer than what we have become today. They had to go out and hunt for their food. They had to go out and hunt for not just their food, but also for their clothing. They had to hunt for survival. Today, we can go to the local Walmart or whatever other grocery store and just, buy burgers and put them on the grill them up, and boom, and we're eating within 15, 20 minutes, however long it takes. Back then, they had to trust their instincts. They had to trust their feelings. They had to put those feelers out there just in case there was something far more deadlier than them hunting those bison, hunting those woolly mammoths. And chances are there was. So that's situational awareness. It's always been a part of us. It's part of the fight or flight instinct that we all have. And that is the lesser degree of a sixth sense. We all have it. Some anthropologists do believe that it's starting to kind of be bred out of humans with, the way things are getting easier and easier in our society, especially with the use of the internet and just being able to hop in your car and go run to the local grocery store if you need food or you need clothing. And that's actually quite concerning because really situational awareness keeps us aware of bad things, because there are still bad things out there. There are still bad people out there that mean us harm, and we need to have that street smarts, that situational awareness in how to deal with it. It's not a psychic ability, but it is still kind of a sixth sense, and it is something that we need to still rely upon and still need to use when dealing with situations that could be dangerous. There is nothing wrong with fear. It's just how you handle that fear, how you approach it. Do you fight or do you run? That all depends on you. I can't run because I'm missing a leg, and I don't run very well on a prosthetic limb, to be perfectly honest with you, so I need to stay and fight. So, folks, we all have a kind of sixth sense. We may not all be people who are able to channel spirits or sense the presence of ghosts or be able to see across the realm across the veil into the spirit realm. We may not all be able to do that, but we all know when danger is afoot. So just wanted to say thank you so much, everyone, for listening. And I am going to get out there and be doing some on the roads. If any of you live in the Midwest, you know that you have two kinds of weather. You either have extremely rainy weather, and nobody really wants to walk around in that, or you have weather that is hot and humid AF. And be honest with you, there's only one time I want to sweat, and that is when I am in the gym. That is it. So I will be getting out there, I promise you that, and I do have some places lined up that I cannot wait to take you to. And so that is it for this week of Ask a Ghost Hunter. I am your host, Ghost Hunter and author, Rick Hale, and I wanted to say thank you. Oh, there's my puppy. Come here, Gertie. Come here. Let's say hi to everyone. See, this is my dog, Gertrude. Isn't she adorable? Okay, Gertie. So, thank you so much, everybody, for watching. I am Rick Hale. This was Ask a Ghost Hunter. As always, keep it spooky.